What's going on, guys? Bo here, and welcome to another video by me. So I apologise, well, I'm not really going to apologise for it because it's just a video, it's a video, but yeah, I did actually get 3 PK videos out in a row, so a lot of people are probably looking forward to some more ones because my content, when I PK, my content definitely does go to its highest. That initial pure video had some amazing feedback, and looking back on it, it was a very good video. Like, I found it very difficult to top. I had a video that I released yesterday. I'm recording this before it actually goes public, but I've already got it prepared. But I felt with that video, I don't know the ratings on it or what people are going to leave, but I felt that the first one I made was just so difficult to actually top. I gave it a go, like I said, but yeah, I mean, sometimes you just make that commentary where everything just goes perfectly, you make pretty much a perfect video, and then you realise you have to make another one and try and top that, so it's very difficult, but I gave it a go, and yeah, I mean, the ratings on that was sweet, the video was awesome, but yeah, just to go from, like, those high-quality PK videos just to another vlog, a lot of people who probably don't listen to these and prefer the PK videos, but yeah, just going on to another topic. So, potentially, if you don't actually know the accounts that whoa, my screen's way out of place, sorry about that. Alright, we'll fix it. But yeah, potentially, if you don't already know, I'm pretty sure you all should know, but if I've gained any potential new subscribers, the accounts that I actually used in that video, those 3 videos, if you've watched all 3 or if you've just watched one of them, the initiate pure one, just say that. It's not actually my account. I was lent that, a friend let me use it to make a PK commentary on, so that was quite awesome. But yeah, this is actually my account, so I might as well give you all a stats update, I guess. Yeah, I could call this a stats update, but yeah, nothing's changed. If you're obviously new, then you can check it for that. But Magic, I'm currently at 82 Magic, probably get 83 today. I'm hoping to 85 next weekend, because I'd very much like to. I get 3 of my exams done in that week, and then I've got like 7 days, 8 days to my next one, so I can actually take a small break and go to East Dragons and do some teleblocking around there and stuff. Now, a lot of people are probably going to ask me to live stream it. I don't actually think I can live stream deep PKing because I would just have clans on me constantly. I don't really want to go into detail of that now. I'll probably try it because I can hide my world, but I still think I'll be scouted out on an event. There'll just be too many times where I'd like to PK East Dragons in max strength, which includes untradables, and I think if clans actually decided to go out of the way to go and kill me, fair enough, I don't mind if they kill me, but I think it would be way too tempting for them to block my untradables, considering I'd probably have a couple of thousand people watching. They'd very much like to have that situation. It's just what RuneScape is, people just do that, so yeah, I mean, I don't know how often I'll stream East Dragons. I think if I ever decide to go PKing without max, then yeah, I could stream it, but if I'm risking a load of untradables, if I lose my defender, don't mind about that one as much as other things, but that's kind of how it goes. I really would not like to lose my untradables that early, but yeah, I guess that's just something. But yeah, I'd like to get an East Dragons video out, maybe a Mage Bank video out, but I don't really want to get fully into that yet because it will take a while to record, and as you know, I am inactive for exams, and I don't want to be spending like 3 or 4 hours trying to make one video to get in a day, because then I just get, like, I realise my days just disappeared. Like, I don't do like any revision till like after 12 or something because I'm just way too tired in the morning, which I've heard is actually the best time to revise, but yeah, I don't do anything. Then if I'm taking 4 hours to make a PK commentary, bam, it's suddenly 5 o'clock and I'm there like, uh-oh, I've done nothing. And it kind of, it can get a bit bad from there, but yeah, anyways, enough rambling, that's a small intro. But anyways, I've got a topic I want to talk about today, and I'd very much like to hear some people's opinions on this topic, because I think this is an interesting one, because I believe I have viewers who are in every situation of what I'm actually going to talk about, so you can give me your honest opinion. And obviously, as you can see by the title, does being rich on RuneScape ruin the game experience for you? Does it make it not interesting? Now, a lot of you are going to say that I'm saying this coming from someone, I think because we started 07, everyone's gone through that part where we've all been poor and we've all made the money and we're all there, so we've gone through all the stages and now we're in a situation we might be in, because 07's been around for about, I don't know the exact time, let's call it 3 months, it might be 4 months, I'm not sure, 2 months, I really don't know. But it's been around for a while, so most people should be able to get into some stages where they can be having semi-decent gear depending on how much they play and how much they work towards it and all that. Like, I mean, when I was working towards 70 prayer, I had to slave my fungus for 8 hours straight in a day, and I just stuck to that, and it definitely paid off. And then, of course, getting my money to get 94 magic, I had to camp Abyssal Demons for pretty much 3 weeks, so it does take a long time to make money. But the topic I want to talk about today is, does being rich, and when I say rich, I'm talking pretty much having so much money that you can't actually spend it. Like, if you went and PK'd in maximum strength gear, let's say 8 mil risk and died, that's maybe 100th of your bank. That is next to nothing for you to lose. Now, I'm going to start off slightly by talking about this pre-EOC from my point of view. Now, one of the reasons I believe RuneScape must have been going downhill, I don't know if this is one of the main ones, but this is one of the reasons I think it must have been going downhill, is because there was absolutely no achievement from anything unless you had certain goals. So people who were working towards big goals, like top page players, XP people, and then people like myself started going for high experience. Like, everyone was going for high experience, and, well, most people were anyway, but yeah, I mean, like, I was going for like 200 mils on my Rune Pure, pre-EOC and all that, so It just kind of like, there was just a lack of achievement. I just wanted to set myself some goals like that, just to keep myself playing. If I didn't set goals like that, there's no way I could have PK'd like 12 hours a day back then. I mean, there was no interest in me PKing because and this is where I'm coming from in this video, I had pretty much an unlimited cash supply. I could make around 40 plus mil an hour, if not more, just doing fire capes and fight kills back when I sold them. Once again, I just want to say this, I do not sell fire capes on 07. I get every time I even mention the word fire cape in a video, people start PMing asking if I'm going to be selling them again. I won't be selling them again, and I will never be selling them again, and this video is going to explain it all why. But just going back to that point, having unlimited cash meant that there was nothing fun in the game for me to do, because no matter what happened, I'd be like, oh, okay, let's just go back. And everything just got so repetitive. Now, I really enjoyed PKing in 500 to 700k risk and just deathmatching everyone because it barely dented my bank. I mean, you notice it every now and then. Like, I probably lost easily over 100 mil deathmatching, but I had like a 4 bill bank or something when 07 came out, and I had absolutely nothing to spend on. I mean, I was 40 defense. The best gear I could wear was some 3rd age magic, which I never actually died for when I was PKing in that. So I tried my best to try to lose as much money as I possibly could, but I just couldn't because, I mean, I'm not going to commit suicide in 3rd age. I'm risking it, yeah, but I mean, I never actually died in it. I died once for about 40 mil when I was doing my Deep Wilderness PKing and a Rapier and some stuff like that, and I went Edgeville with like 40 mil risks and stuff like that to try and just liquidate my bank down a bit, because there was just no fun for me, in my point of view, start rich in the game. So that's just kind of the first point. I'm not going to go into detail on it because that's pre-OC, and I think a lot of the people watching now probably don't really play EOC, and we all know this. That's kind of the same as it was, but 07's a completely different game now. But that's kind of pre-OC. Depending on your financial situation at EOC, how did you find it? Like, did you find it boring playing the game, having to maybe go to God War's dungeon? Like, I mean, the downside to that is that the fact that it couldn't actually bring you that much money. Like gear, like next gear, Torva was like a bill, and then if you couldn't actually kill next, then the best money was like Saradom in God Wars, and then a hilt there was like 20 mil or something. And that would have took you so long to actually make the money to get that Torva and all that stuff that you just see all these rich people walking around with that get their money from staking or dicing and all that. If you were playing legit, it was just so demotivating to see how these people could have just such a better thing of you. But then you're like, everyone's like hating on Flower, and I didn't like Flowering in general, but then you have to realise that these people are in the situation to be able to do it. Not a random person couldn't just get a dice bag and then suddenly be making 400 mil a day full of dicing, because no one would trust them. I mean, these people, like, in a way, they weren't trustworthy, but I don't really want to talk about dicing in general here. I just wanted to say, like, how do people find the game pre-EOC, depending on your banks? I'm someone who, I couldn't experience the game with the low bank. I tried when I made my Playing RuneScape Properly series, but I rebuilt so quickly and stuff, and I found it really enjoyable, but still, I mean, I had so much money that because deaths back then were only maybe like 400k a death, it was so easy to make 400k. Depending on what you'd actually do. I mean, the money-making methods for 2 mil an hour guaranteed, like, that's pretty good, that, if you're honest. But yeah, I mean, 07, I mean, maybe if I'm losing 200k an hour, I can easily make 400 to 500k an hour just doing random things, so it kind of goes like that. But I mean, that's just what all I wanted to really say on pre-OC, because I kind of want to kind of want to make this around the 07 era, because I think that's the more interesting one, simply because this is what most people seem to play now. So, just going to have to repeat the question now before I actually get into this. So, does being rich on RuneScape ruin the experience for you? So I'm going to give you a prime example now. I make PK commentaries, I commentate over what happens, and I have good reactions to what can happen on screen. Now, my bank is probably going to be worth about 10 mil after I get 94 magic out of the way. Now, a lot of people have 94 mage out of the way already and probably have less than 10 mil. So I'm currently in that situation where I'm currently spending my bank to get the stats to actually play a kill. Now, when I finish this, I have 10 mil in the bank. So let's go PK. Let's say I go PK now, and I PK full darks. That's like a third of my bank that I suddenly just make just by killing someone in the wilderness. Like, that profit would just feel like such an achievement. And honestly, I'd be looking back, like, every time I PK darks, I'm just there like, yes, nothing could go wrong now. I've PK'd full darks. I've made 3 mil. I'm happy with this. There's nothing wrong that could be wrong with this video or this live stream, whatever I'm doing at the time. I don't know, but PK full darks, I'm just there like, yes, amazing. Awesome reaction from it. There's just nothing you can get wrong from PKing darks, and when you're fighting them, you're just there like, please, please can I kill this guy to make money? And then you kill him, and you're just there like, yes, 3 mil, yes, it's like a whip! And you just realise how much money you actually just made in that one kill, and it's just like, oh, I mean, that's just why I enjoy like being poor. That's why I want to make this video, because when you're poor in this game, everything is just so good to get. My reaction, trust me, when I smite my first whip, my reaction is going to be good, because I'm not super rich on this game. I don't suddenly see myself getting to 100 mil cash piles like PK some guy for a DFS and a Fury and all that, but most likely I probably won't sell all that stuff. I'd want to keep it for my... Well, I'd sell a Fury obviously because I've already got one, but the DFS I'd be keeping that, and that's probably the most expensive item I could probably PK. Unless I cut out some guy with 3rd age. I don't know, I mean, I don't really see myself jumping to like 100 mil cash pile anymore. I'm not a staker. My bank is not suddenly just going to be like 10 mil this video. Oh hey guys, I'm on an 80 mil cash pile now because I got lucky in the jewellery. I don't really plan on staking anytime soon. I mean, I probably will make a staking account in the future and just like every now and then when I feel like feel like transferring 5 mil, 10 mil or something. Remember, I'm not rich, so for all you stakers out there, like 5 mil, what's it about? But I mean, I could turn that into 50 mil, so we can go from there. But a staking account, it'd be fun to do, so it's kind of like a side thing. Like staking, I've never really staked to make... I guess the point of staking is to try and make money, but I stake purely for the enjoyment. We all know how addicting staking is. It is one of the most addictive things in this game, especially when you go up so much money in like one session. You're like, God, I made 80 mil last time, let's go back. And then eventually it does lead to a lot of people being cleaned, but it also leads to a lot of people getting to like their first 100 mil cash pile and all. Like, I really, if I'm honest, I do not know when I'll get my first 100 mil cash pile. I think it's going to be a while, because I think when my cash is green, I'm probably going to spend it on Darks or Verax or something and just go have fun in the wilderness, lose it, make PK commentaries. Who the hell cares? It's just enjoyment, isn't it? I don't really care about money. I prefer to go and spend it all and make awesome videos, but I mean, like, that's just what I'm saying. Like, people could... Staking is for fun. Like, if I made it staker purely for staking, I wouldn't really be doing that to make billions and billions of GP. It could happen. It really could happen. We never actually know. But it's just like, I don't really see myself going to the jewel arena. I don't want to use the jewel arena as a money-making method, if that makes more sense. Like, I will never use staking as a money-making method because it's really unreliable and it can really go wrong. And like, we all see these video makers that get like cleaned in the jewel arena. Some of them like try and pose it as hacks, but video makers all the time, they get cleaned, don't they? And then they're suddenly like, oh, I can't be playing this game, and then they quit. Like, I don't know. I can't really name one off the top of my head, but there is surely you can think of a video maker who quit because he got cleaned in the jewel arena, or maybe took a long break just because he was not motivated to actually start playing the game again. And that's a situation where being poor in RuneScape is not fun to them as a video maker. Now, I don't always see myself ever like getting cleaned or anything. I've always got a decent cash pile. Like, I started a series and destroyed my entire bank and like liquidated it into like party hats just so I could do that series. But I don't really see myself like getting addicted to staking and losing everything. So I shouldn't really be in that situation. So it should be alright. But a lot of video makers do get in that situation, and a lot of people do, and they all go down to that situation where they have absolutely no money in the bank. And I will admit, if I had nothing in the bank, like absolutely nothing, and I'd done all this work, if I had 94 mage done with, I wouldn't mind it that much. I've got everything I need. The only thing I do from there is PK, so all I need to do is try and make money for a whip and all that. So I could get back into it. But I mean, I think logging in from like maybe going from 100 mil just to having absolutely nothing, it's pretty demotivating. Let's admit, it's pretty demotivating. But that's not our fault that people get greedy. I mean, if you've got 100 mil in the bank, I really do not know why you would never... Why would you even go back to staking? You've got 100 mil. That's 4 times my bank right now. And I've got 94 mage bank. I say that I've got 94 mage out of the way. You could bank 99 mage, 94 mage, just say 94, 99 range, and then transfer 20 mil into a new account to max out another account if you wanted to. And you still have 50 mil left over to go and PK with. I mean, I don't know why you continue staking. Why even risk it? You got plenty of money to PK. I'm sure many of you will agree with me on that one. If you had 100 mil, if you could take 100 mil or risk it to go to 200 mil, okay, like maybe that's not right, but a lot of people would risk it. I'd probably, if I'm completely honest, I'd probably just take it. Because I mean, 100 mil, risk it to 200. Actually, I probably wouldn't. If I was given the option right now by Jagex, here you go, have 100 mil, or here you go, have the chance to double it. Like, there's some proper statistics behind that. I can't really remember what they are, but I mean, you've got a 50% chance to like win 100 mil and a 50% chance to lose 100 mil, or you just keep 100 mil. So there is some proper like statistics behind that that like makes one option more like better than the other one. I think it is actually taking the offer, but like if I put it in that situation, I would just take the 100 mil. I mean, I'd be happy with that. I'm not going to be greedy. I'd be like, 100 mil, yes, what I can do with 100 mil, I'm very happy to do things with 100 mil. But I just want to kind of get back to the question that I was talking about. Now, let's say I played RSO7, and let's say I had 100 mil. Now I've got 100 mil in the bank. So let's say I go and PK full Darks, 2.5 mil. That's like a 40th of my bank. And it just doesn't seem as much. Like, what would my reaction be? Like, hey, Darks, it looks nice on the floor, yeah, but it doesn't like boost, it doesn't feel like that much of an achievement anymore. Like, okay, it's still an achievement to PK Darks, I get a nice clip as well, but the fact that I've also like lost out on all that stuff, I mean the reactions and all, I mean if I had 100 mil, unless I PK'd some guy for like 50 mil loot, and when I say 50 mil I'm talking Arims, Master 1 set, Max Mage pretty much with like a DFS, a Fury, Berserker and all that stuff in there, then that would be something that I could still enjoy. But I mean, if I was PKing at Edgeville, sorry, if I had 100 mil in the bank and I was only PKing room sets or maybe whip risking or something, it just wouldn't really feel that fun. Because I mean, if I die, I just go and buy another one. I can repeat that 30 odd times. And then if I died and my bank was 10 mil, I'd have to be properly into it, knowing that if I die, it's going to have such an effect on my bank that I have to be fully into the game. And that's where you can really enjoy it, in my opinion. I can get into my commentaries loads, even when I had billions in the bank. But now, trust me, when I start PKing in 07 and my bank's not much and I decide to do a whip risk fight, it's going to be mental. I mean, that's like a third of my bank I'll be risking just for one fight. And if I died, if I killed him, I'd just be going sick. And that's just kind of how I feel. If you're rich in the game, you just lose a lot of this fun that a lot of people are getting simply because they're just risking, I mean, just because they're like so much more effect on their actual game. Like if I had a billion GP now and I died for max mage, it's a 50th of my bank calling it as 20 mil. And it just wouldn't be that bad for me. I'd be like, oh, okay, I'll just go gear up again and go back. And then it just wouldn't be fun. Like you'd be in that, instead of dying and caring that much, you'd be in that kind of depressed state where you're just like, oh god, like it's fair enough, if that 20 mil was your entire bank, it'd probably be worse, but I just feel like if you're kind of like not super rich on this game and you're doing things like maybe in my level, like if you've got 100 mil in the bank and you're a pure, what the hell is the point? Like, okay, if you're going purely for fun, you don't really care about loot. But we have to admit, loot definitely increases the excitement. If you smite a whip, you're going to be buzzing over that way more than if you just got your normal DDS loot, assuming you're fighting a 1 defense pure here. I mean, if you've got 100 mil in the bank, if I was a pure, I could make do with 2 mil in the bank. A whip and 2 mil, let's say I was 70 attack. A whip and 2 mil, I could easily make doing that in the bank. Because every time I die, I lose about 70k maybe, and I can just keep buying. That's like 30 lives. I die 30 times, and then I get to sell everything that I PK'd, assuming I do PK something, and just see where I am from there, and keep doing that and that and that, and then eventually, boom, you PK the whip, and your cash pile is suddenly 5 mil, and just there like, awesome. That's just kind of how I see the game. I feel that a lot of people might not enjoy the game as much because they're insanely rich on the game. Now, I don't know how many people watching this video actually have loads in the money, and I'm going to guess, if you're someone that does have a lot of money, you've most likely made it all from staking, or PKing. I mean, you could be doing risk fights. I really want to get into dark risk fighting and whip risk fighting. Fair enough, I can go down a lot of money, but I can also go up a lot of money. It's just the excitement of that would be awesome, the videos would be great and all that stuff, but I do actually relate a lot of things to like making videos and stuff. I know a lot of you aren't actually video makers, but I just feel that if you're someone that's like logging in the game kind of like, ugh, I can't be bothered slaying in this like glory amulet and initiate and Addy boots or something like that, when this guy right next to me's got a Fiore on, a Berserker ring, a Fire Cape, all this massive gear. Like honestly, okay, I can bring that around to another point here, and the fact that being poor while training skills can be horrible. If you're someone that doesn't PK, I could have kind of like gone back to this because I'm kind of making this all around PKers here. If you're someone that doesn't PK, how do people find skilling? Like, if you have to train fishing to 99 to get 99 cooking, sell those sharks to get yourself 99 fire making, and then woodcut your own logs to get 99 fletching, that's a lot of work you have to put in. So maybe if you're a skiller, being poor would suck, but being rich, what's the fun in being rich? You bank all the skills and you just slave them out over a month, and then you're like, they're like, oh, I've got 99 everything. Okay, let's go for front page. Now, I think if you're someone who's going for front page, you definitely want to be rich. If you were, like, I think it's Drumgun, he's rank 3 at the moment in the live game, and he's I think he is the highest legitimate player who's actually got there without taking a single donation. I don't know if that's true, but I think it is. Now, if you're him, he might be kind of demotivated because he would probably feel that he deserves to be the official #1 because he's the only one that played the game what some people could say is properly, like as a solo player, and didn't actually take money off other people to get to where he's at. He might feel kind of demotivated that these other people have pretty much unlimited cash supplies because they was getting donations. I don't know how he feels about it, but I don't think he really cares because he's still rank 3 and he's obviously doing what he enjoys, so can't really go into that into too much detail. But I just feel like some people like that could kind of feel demotivated knowing that they don't have as much money as some of the other people out there. Like, I can't really name that many names, but I'm sure you know where I'm coming from. This thing, like, if I kind of like summarize everything, if you've got 100 mil in the bank and you PK a whip, it just doesn't feel like great anymore. I mean, let's say you PK 6 whips or something. You just like, you PK, your first whip PK, right? Your first whip PK is always going to be the best one. I cannot wait for that moment. When I just see a Bissell whip on the ground, I'm going to go mental, honestly, and I really, really hope I am actually recording a whip PK. Like, if I missed my first whip PK, I'd be like, no, this is horrible. Like, oh, this is the best moment to share with the subscribers, the first whip PK, and then like, I didn't record it, and you're there like, ugh. But I mean, like, once you PK your first whip, that's the one that you definitely, like, enjoy the most. But then, of course, when you get, like, your second, your third, and then like your ninth and stuff, they're not going to feel as good. They definitely won't feel as good, regardless of what your bank is, unless you are literally on a really low bank. But I mean, like, the first whip, regardless of how rich you are, it will look nice on the ground. But then, of course, if you had 100 mil, it's not going to look as nice if you had 1 mil. And then, of course, your 10th whip PK, if you've got 15 mil in the bank, it's not going to look as nice as the first whip PK at all. And that's kind of like switching the situation around where you were poor for a very, very long time, but you've just been PKing whips all the time to get there. The excitement does eventually die off, and we all know that. And that's maybe a situation where people would want to be rich in the game. I will admit right now, I've been playing RuneScape since about 2002. I think I got my first 10 mil cash pile in 2007. I got my first 100 mil cash pile probably in 2011. No, 2010 I'd say. I don't really know when I got 100 mil for the first time. Yeah, I actually really don't know. I think it's a bit earlier than that. Oh, wait, 2010? Yeah, probably about 2010, I'd say. And that's a long time to actually make some money like that for someone who's been playing long. Now, I'm in the situation where I've been playing that long. I go from a 4 bill bank in the EOC, and now I'm suddenly poor in 07. Well, not exactly poor anymore. I won't consider myself poor anymore. I've got exactly what I want. When I finish this, I've got 10 mil, which is perfect for me, and I've got 94 mage done with. That is literally the perfect bank I'd like to be at, to be starting out like the PK commentaries properly. I think it would be awesome. A lot of people might say, there's no point complaining about when you're poor because you just simply can't make money. Like, a lot of people might say that to me, and because I like when I started, I was just there like, oh, I hate having this bank. I wish I was rich just so I could get out there and PK. I had the opportunity to trade my 4 bill EOC for 07. A lot of people I know have the ability to actually do that. Alkin is an example, and they're too hard to PK. Jamie, they're good examples of people who had billions in EOC and could have transferred loads over to 07 just to get that head start on people. Before people say, Alkin did trade some, but then he traded it back, and this because like people were kind of against it. I have no problem at all with people that like trade EOC for 07. I mean, my EOC GP is just sat there going to waste. I'm never going to touch that again. Like, I really don't know what I'm going to do with it. I mean, I've got my 10 mil soul rune still. That's going to stay in my bank forever, obviously. But I mean, I've got 100 mil prayer banked, 200 mil mage banked, 200 mil range banked, which I'm never going to touch. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So I could easily trade it for 07. But I'm probably not going to, but I kind of like really do enjoy playing the game. Like I said, like this whole commentary would be so hypocritical if I was there like, God, I wish I was rich. But yeah, I mean, I really don't see myself doing it because I chose to want to play through this experience of the game. We all want 07 for nostalgia. Well, most of us want 07 for nostalgia. A lot of us also want it just to get rid of the EOC. I can definitely understand that. But I chose to take this in the slowest route possible. Of course, I no-lifed it as much as I could when times just to try and get those head starts. But I just wanted to go through that experience again of being poor in the game. Obviously now, all of us really are way more intelligent of how the game actually works. So we know how to make money and all that stuff. We really do know how to make money. So it took me, I don't know how long it took me to get my first 10 mil I got my first 10 mil cash pile on the day of the Falador trading thing, but that's only because I kept spending all my money and like reinvesting it into Slayer and all that stuff. And my cash pile now, I got to like a 28 mil cash pile, I think it was, before I banked 94 mage. So I've been in those high cash piles, but at the moment I'm just kind of spending it all because I want to get things done with. But I chose to spend 3 months. It's been 3 months. I'm known as one of the most subscribed people who makes PK commentaries for the enjoyment of subscribers, and it's been 3 months. And I still don't have Vengeance on my account, which I've been working on since day one. That shows how slow I've kind of been taking this. I've been in, like I said, I've been in absolutely no rush to get into these situations because I just wanted to experience the game again from being poor. Now, fair enough, it is very demotivating logging in, knowing that some people, this kid, has like 1 billion GP in the bank, and I could have that bill. I could be at East Dragons making the videos, dream videos. Like, if I was PKing at East in max, if I PK 20 mil, I'd still be happy regardless of what my bank was, I believe. Which kind of goes against everything I just said, but still, just to be able to bring that into a video form would be awesome. That's kind of how I see it, but I'm taking this slow. Like, a lot of people are waiting for these hybriding videos, simply because when I was making my Deep Wilderness Adventures, I had unlimited money, I had 4 bill to get rid of, I could PK in what the hell I wanted. Nowadays, I don't see myself PKing in max mage for a very long time, simply because it costs pretty much double my bank when I've got 94 mage, and I don't want to be risking my entire bank in one death. That will definitely not go well. So I see myself PKing in Mystics and Rune for a very long time. Now, if we bring that back to the video making part of this topic, because I'm PKing in not the greatest gear, that only means that when I get more money in the bank, my videos get better and better. Now, when I made videos back in December 2010, let's say that right, I've made private server videos back then, but let's go to March 2011, I think I made, no, it might have been April, I think it was April, my first RuneScape PK commentary on my actual account. Now, I had about 100 mil bank back then. Now, when I finished making PK commentaries, when I decided to quit when EOC came out and play Quick Live instead, when I was making my Deep Wilderness Adventures videos, I had a 4 bill bank. So over that time, my bank progressed, and obviously my videos progressed over time. More money came into it. But it kind of like, because when I went to Edgeville, the most expensive thing I needed was claws and all. The only thing I could do to bring something was risk fighting, but I didn't enjoy risk fighting. Because the whole thing was just you had to be sitting on 800 life points, or you had to KO them off 800 life points. I don't enjoy saping in the wilderness. I way prefer to be... You may have watched my videos, like, I get red barred. I sit there on like 10 hit points because it's my turn to combo, and I'm sat there because I want to be taking this risk to try and get a nice looking kill. Or just because that's just what I enjoy. Now, I didn't enjoy risk fighting in the slightest, because everyone would sit on 700 HP. I found it was very difficult to KO people. I could understand that was the whole point of risk fighting. You didn't want to die. But I mean, there's points. I've got a video up where I spec 902 damage. That'd be 90 damage in this live game for those that never played, like when the hits were times 10. 900 damage, and I still didn't kill the guy. Like, what's the point in PKing if I'm going to spec 900 damage and PK the guy, and then every time someone died to 1,200 damage, they'd upload it like, okay then, this is cool, this is how RuneScape is, it's pure luck. It's just the same thing back and forth. You'd have to hit 1,200 damage to kill someone. If it happened to you, you'd say it was pure luck. And if it happened to someone else, you'd be like, hell yeah, I finally got it. That's the situation I was in. If I ever died to that, I'd be like, what? Why can't my claws hit that? And then when my claws hit that, I'm like, oh my god, that was absolutely beautiful. It's just, that's what the game is like. I completely went off topic here, but do want to quickly go back to it. But I mean, yeah, I might as well wrap the video up before I just go into some topic and kind of unwind everything I've just said and completely ruin it. But I mean, what do you think of the actual situation? If you had the opportunity to straight away, like depending on what you do, if you had the opportunity to take either a 10 mil cash pile, right, between a 10 and 20 mil cash pile, you can choose it, or a max cash pile, which one would you choose? Like, would you choose the max cash just to go and PK in max gear, do what the hell you like on the game, and just completely, hopefully, enjoy yourself to the max? We all play a game for enjoyment, so none of us like the grind to make money to do things. I kind of enjoy it just because I like to look back at what I've done and like see where I've actually achieved things. Like, if I had max cash in the bank right now, I'd probably be training magic in the most expensive way possible. I'd probably already be maxed actually, and all I'd be doing is PKing, but I wouldn't actually notice where I got the achievement. Now, if I made 2 bill staking, fair enough, there's a nice achievement there, but when I look back on this, it's going to take me 4, 5, 6 months to get to a really decent, stable account and all that stuff. And I can look back and I can spot every single milestone that I achieved. All the whip drops that I got. When I wild-pied Abyssal Demons to get my whip drops, I'm never going to forget that when I play RuneScape. Definitely not, because that was where I made a massive portion of my bank. All the Zami pages I got from Clue Scrolls, like the Granite Mauls I got from Gargoyles, and then like when I PK'd full Daroks and smited a Darok's helm, none of that's going to be forgotten, simply because they're the milestones that I had to go through to get into the situation I'm actually in. If I had 2 bill cash, what would I remember? Like, I'd just be like, oh, I've got 2 bill, let's just go spend it all and do what the hell I like. I don't know about you, but yeah, I mean, if, like, honest question, if you want to actually leave a comment here, if you could choose what cash pile to take, let's say you've already got a max build, like, choose what build you like. Like, if you want to choose your dream build, pretty much insert, like, if you're, like, an example would be, let's say you wanted my account, like, 70 attack, 99 shit, like, if I just hop on, if you want these stats, but you've got 94, you're maxed out, you've got 70, 70, 99, 99, 99, 99, everything's maxed, you don't need to spend money on skills. Let's just say you have to do this, like, I'll put this in 2 perspectives for those that don't PK. But let's just say, put down, if you're a PKer, what dream build you'd like and how much you'd actually like to have in the bank that you think would be the maximum enjoyment. Like, if you're going for a maxed initiate pure, why would you want 2 bill in the bank? Like, I don't really know why people would want 2 bill in the bank if you're risking like 50k when you actually die. Like, I don't know about any of you, but I personally would just definitely not want to have 2 bill in the bank if I was an initiate pure. There'd just be no fun in it. I PK rune and be like, whatever, some rune. Okay, I'm happy with that. So yeah, I mean, if I want to answer this question for you, like, as my point of view, my dream build, I think, would be... I really don't know. I plan to make so many different... Oh, why am I enfeebling? Whoops. I plan to make so many different builds on 07, so I should go through many different ones, and obviously I have the ability to log on others, but I think my dream build would probably be 70 attack, 99 strength, 45 defense. If I had that build, I think I'd probably take a 10 mil cash pile with it. As long as it was fully maxed out, I'd take a 10 mil cash pile with it, because I could just, maybe a maxed initiate PR actually. I think my dream build could also be like 90 attack, 90 strength, 20 defense, because I think that account would absolutely tear the wilderness up. But yeah, if I had that account, I'd probably go with a 10 mil, probably go with a 5 mil cash pile if I'm honest. Like 10 mil cash pile and just buy like 200 return sets. I really don't know, but that's just how I see it. I mean, why would I want to have a max 1 defense account and have a 2 bill cash pile if whenever I kill people, I'm pretty much just going to get a DDS every time? They'd just be like, no achievement from PK, and they'd only be PKing for pure fun, which is obviously the point of the game. But it would just get so boring after a while knowing that you're actually achieving nothing from this. It's kind of like, you'd look back on it, you wouldn't enjoy it as much. Like, that's kind of how I felt back on AOC. If I PK claws, it was no difference to my bank. Like, honestly, I didn't feel no difference at all. Like, I wouldn't feel like so happy about PKing claws unless it was sudden, depending on what my cash pile's actually at. Now, if I make it for skillers, if I was a skiller, I'd probably just want to take max cash straight away, just to bank all the Bibles and get them out of the way. But then things like rune crafting would just feel so horribly slow if I was going for front page or something like that, that it would just be death to train that skill in general. So I mean, if you weren't rich, every skill would train fairly slow, and you'd actually be able to enjoy some skills like rune crafting. Because if you were training rune crafting, a good example there, rune crafting is the skill you want to make money with. You don't want to train that skill to like get fastest experience rates possible, unless you just want to get 99 as soon as possible. You train that skill most likely to make money. I mean, pretty sure most of you right now, some of you are probably rune crafting while I make this video, and you're probably doing Nats in the Abyss. I'm watching you. But you're doing that most likely to make money, not to get runecraft medals, unless you're aiming for 91. But in that case, you're aiming for 91 to make money, so it kind of goes hand in hand there. Now, if you're 2 bill in the bank, when it comes down to you maxing out your account and you want to get 99 runecrafting, how depressingly boring is that going to be? That is going to be a drag, because you can't keep up with those experience rates. Like, if you were training cooking, then construction, then herblore, all of them easily over like 300k an hour. I think herblore would be the slowest out of those. And then suddenly 25k an hour runecrafting, you are going to be crying. It's going to be horrible. Like, what you can achieve in 1 hour, you take 10 hours to do runecrafting. So maybe when you're a skiller, you want to be rich in the game, but if you're a PKer, it kind of puts it in the situation. But I'm sure a lot of you disagree with me completely. You would all love to have max cash in the bank, because you just go in the wilderness and you just don't care. No one can trash talk you. You get smited for a whip, you just pull another one out of the bank. You've got 37 whips in the bank. No one cares. You've got as much money as you want, so you just go back and you have some fun. You can risk max strength, and it doesn't really matter. Like, people like strengths. For those that have seen strengths, Tanks to Volume 3, you should have all seen that. Most of you should have seen it, because it's one of the best old school videos. He had so much money, he PK'd with Berserker Ring risks at 1 defense, he just PK'd in max all the time, party hat risks, he could just do what the hell he wanted, and he obviously had tons of fun doing that. But I mean, I might as well end the video here, because I don't really want to ramble around. But I mean, what do people think of this? Do you all just think do you think I'm just completely wrong here? You'd all think I'd have a much better time on this game if I had a bill in the bank? I know I complain about being poor a lot, but that's just natural response. We all want to be rich, let's be honest. But if we were rich, would you regret being rich? That's kind of the question that I'm putting here. Like, when I get to 100 mil cash, am I still going to have the same fun as when I'm PKing with 10 mil cash? I really don't know. I really don't know. I really hope I do. But I think, pretty sure when it comes down to me, because I'm a video maker, when I get to the 100 mil cash pile, I can go up to East Dragons and Mage Banking, like max gear and stuff, and have tons of fun and make some sweet videos from that. So that's kind of where I see it when I get to 100 mil. But yeah, I'd honestly like to hear all your opinions on this one. I'll try and reply to some comments and stuff, but I'm sure a lot of stuff that people would disagree with here. I'm sure a lot of stuff will actually agree with here. But does being rich on RuneScape actually ruin the fun of the game? Just because everything just seems so easy, and you can link that back to the EOC. Why was pre-EOC not fun for you? Is it just because you had too much money or anything? Or maybe you were someone who didn't have enough money in EOC because everything was so expensive and that really wanted you to be getting rich and stuff. So it can kind of go back and forth, this topic. I mean, a lot of people are going to disagree. A lot of people will agree. It's all down to opinion. I personally prefer to be fairly poor on the game, as long as I can still provide the videos that I could, which any video maker can. Honestly, if a video maker gets hacked in the future, don't give him a donation, honestly. Let him rebuild, let him enjoy that aspect of the game, let him realise that a video maker does not need to be richer than a person who's not a video maker to make videos. Just people know we're richer because we play a lot more, because we make videos for our subscribers and stuff. But honestly, if I got hacked and let's just say I had $1 million in the bank, I could make whatever video I liked off that $1 million. It would just be quite difficult. Like, fair enough, when I went PKing, I'd have to drop my Barrow's gloves for rune gloves. But that doesn't matter. That's just more interesting, because when I get the good money and I decide to put my Barrow's gloves on for like some big risk PKing, that extra 125k there just makes things so much more enjoyable, in my opinion. So yeah, that's kind of my opinion. I definitely prefer to be poor on this game. Not exactly poor. let's just say, it depends what you, it also depends what you consider rich. Let's just say, go back to that question, what would you prefer between a 10 or a 2 build cash pile? What would you actually like, depending on the build as well? That's kind of the question. So with my build, I think I'd take 10, 20 mil with this build. If I was going back to the Initiate Pure, I'd take 10 mil. And I'd just like to earn my money from that. I think that would be definitely the most enjoyable. I think with this build actually that I've got, I'd probably take 50 mil. No, I probably wouldn't take 50 mil. Probably wouldn't take 50 mil because I don't really want to go to East Dragons in max gear yet. Yeah, anyways, I'm just going to call out the video, guys. So I'd love to see all your opinions, honestly. I'd love to see them. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I am going to be uploading this on... I'm going to schedule it for Monday. So I am most likely... okay, let's just talk in some weird tense here to confuse some people. Yeah, I've got my Core 1 exam today. So... I've already done my Core 1 exam today, so I'll most likely upload another video later on today, kind of like going over how it went and stuff. I'll keep people updated on like how my exams go, so you can kind of see like the behind the scenes to what I do behind the screen, like what goes on behind the screen. I'll keep people updated on how my exams go. Obviously, I'll bring a topic into it so you don't click the video just to hear about my exams. A lot of people just really could not be bothered with that, let's be honest. So I'll just throw that in as a short topic before I actually go into a main topic. But yeah, this has been the topic I wanted to cover, guys. So for anyone else doing the who's already done the exam, I'd love to hear how it went. I'll upload that video later on today. Then obviously I'll hear about how on there. So thanks for watching, guys. See you all soon. Hope this video is enjoyable to watch. 36 minutes long, so there's some nice experience that you've hopefully killed. So yeah, I'd love to hear all your opinions, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. So take care, guys.